What's up, guys? That tickle you already? So, we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing some more Am I the A-hole stories, but we figured make it a little more personal and kind of sit down and do it. There'll still be some gameplay going, but kind of do a little bit more of a personal thing. So, if you don't know, I'm Casey, and this is my lovely wife, Fallon. And she's going to do the heavy lifting in this episode and do the reading the actual scenario or stories, and I will just be here to kind of judge. All right, you want to get started?
Of course.
I'm gonna hold it for you since you're reading. We don't have fancy microphone stands here. We do manual labor in these parts.
Okie doke. Am I the asshole for getting mad at my parents for selling my video games for practically nothing?
Okay.
I, 19 male, live with my parents, and we are in the process of moving to a new house. My parents decided to host a yard sale, and since I wasn't available to help, they asked me if I would be willing to sell some of my old video games if they paid me back. I told them that was fine, but I handed them a list of video games I didn't want them to sell, and told them to look up how much the games are worth before selling them. I didn't expect them to sell a lot of them, given most of the games I own right now cost a small fortune online. When I got back home after the yard sale had ended, they gave me just under $200. When I asked where my games were, I found out that nearly all of my GameCube, DS, and 3DS games had been sold, including the ones that I wrote down on my list. Some of the games cost hundreds of dollars to buy, so I know my parents didn't look up the prices like I said. When I called them out on it, they said that if I wanted things done right, I should have been there. Also mentioned that they paid for some of the games themselves. I've never gotten in any serious arguments with my parents before, but I told them that until they gave me what I would have gotten by selling them online, which would have been over $2,000, I didn't want to hear any more of their BS. My mom's acting like nothing happened, but my dad's refusing to talk to me. Am I the asshole?
So, let me get this straight. Did I hear that they sold GameCube games?
GameCube, DS, and 3DS games.
Oh. Nintendo games hold their value, man.
I know.
That sucks. So he wasn't there to sell the game, so he gave his parents permission to sell said games?
Essentially, he wrote a list of games that he didn't want them to sell and told them to look up how much the games that they planned on selling were before they sold it.
And they didn't do that?
Apparently not. They also didn't read the list, apparently, because they sold some of them on that list.
I mean, this one feels a little cut straightforward and dry, in my opinion, but then again, I've been burned with that before in the past. Well, hold on. I want to hear your thoughts first. You take the microphone.
Well, I'm kind of torn just because of how I was raised, because that feels very much like something that could have happened to me. I think that if he didn't want certain things sold, he should have put them away. He should have just gave them what he wanted sold. He could have avoided a lot of this himself, but he tried to give them the list. So I definitely think the parents suck here a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
Big time.
That's the route that I was going with. Like, okay, he wasn't there, unfortunately. Did he say why he wasn't able to be there?
No.
I'll assume it was something important, right?
Maybe work.
Yeah, maybe work, really, whatever. Benefit of the doubt. It doesn't really matter here or there, whatever. You don't sell someone, I guess maybe that generation, older generation, doesn't understand the value of games, especially Nintendo games. Mm-hmm. Like, go try to buy Luigi's Mansion 1 right now on the GameCube. Tell me how much that's going to cost you. And if that game was part of that stack, someone just freaking highway robbed them, essentially. Mm-hmm. That is absurd. Yeah, in my opinion, the parents are just straight up assholes. I don't know what else to say about it. That's rough. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, he could have definitely taken more precaution in order to make sure that what he did not want gone was not going to be gone.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, you also should be able to trust your family. Like, hey, here's a list of games I don't want you to sell. Please don't sell these. And if you do sell this approved list of games, make sure that you actually get the value that they're worth. Yeah. You know, do your due diligence. And if that's too much for the parents to do, then they should just be like, hey, we don't feel comfortable selling these games. You should sell them at your own leisure or whenever you can, because we don't know enough about this. You know, they should have said something. Maybe they did. Maybe he's just trying to frame it as they're the problem. But in my opinion, they are the problem.
Yeah, I think everybody sucks. The parents more so than anything. But I definitely, like I said, I feel like he could have done more to prevent what happened a little bit too.
Yeah. But still, ultimately, I think the parents. Sorry, it's the parents. It's always the parents. Nah. All right. What's the next one?
Let's see.
I think. Let's answer that finally. Though, is he the asshole?
No,
he's not the asshole. It's the parents.
It's the parents.
What's the next one?
This one's a little bit of a long one.
Oh boy, long ones. Do you like long ones?
You know I don't.
No. How you gonna do that? This is my channel.
Am I the asshole for wanting to name my son after a video game character? Any thoughts?
I mean, I have strong opinions already, but...
My wife, 26 female, and I, 27 male, are both big gamers. We actually met through playing games online together, and it's important to us. We're expecting a baby boy in October, and we couldn't be happier. This will be the first child for all of us, and the first grandchild / nibbling on both sides of our families. So they're pretty excited to meet him too. If you're not aware, a nibbling...
Yeah, what's a nibbling?
It is the child of, like, so like, say your brother wasn't married, and he was, or I guess in this case they are married. I thought it was if they weren't married. Anyway, say that your sister-in-law was pregnant.
Okay. That
is your nibbling.
My sister-in-law is my nibbling?
No, her child. The child she is with.
Okay. It just sounds like a not appropriate term.
It does, but it's a thing. Okay. It's a thing.
If you say so.
So, to continue, here's where the problem comes in. My wife and I were both greatly moved by the story of Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2. We considered him one of the best fictional characters of all time. I've been playing video games for a long time, and his story is the only one to ever make me cry. It was my wife who suggested that we use Arthur Morgan as the first and middle names for our son. Not only will we be paying tribute to our favorite character, but there's nothing wrong or weird about the name, other than Arthur is a little old-fashioned now. But that's coming back into trend, though. But it isn't as if we're naming him Sonic the Hedgehog or Donkey Kong.
Or Master Chief.
My mother had a brother that died when I was about a year old, so I don't have any memories of him. He had been she had been pressuring us to name our son after him. There's nothing wrong with his name either, it's pretty common. I think it's like Robert John. It's just not what we wish to name our sprout. My older brother let slip to my mother that the name we chose was from a video game character, and she completely flipped out. She actually drove 30 minutes to our house so she could bang on our door and berate us in person for honoring someone who doesn't actually exist over her flesh and blood sibling. I understand that she misses my uncle, but while this may be her grandchild, he is our first and foremost our son. We already think of him as Arthur. That's going to be his name no matter how she feels about it. When we tried gently and firmly to advise her that we respect her position, but that we weren't going to budge on ours, she walked out and told us that she would have nothing to do with our son and would never acknowledge him as family.
That seems a bit extreme.
A little bit. Am I the asshole for not making my mother happy and just giving her a freebie on this? I've actually always had a really good relationship with her, and it would hurt badly to not have her in my life or my son's life. My wife says that as parents, we're going to have to learn to advocate for ourselves because people are always going to be telling us that we've done something wrong and disregarding our parenting decisions.
Are you going to give me any hard ones? This seems again, cut and dry. That's not your kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's your kid's kid. They get to decide. And if they don't want to take your opinion on what they should name their kid, sorry, not their problem. I don't know.
I was going to say, I 100% agree. I mean, at the end of the day, that is their child. You, as the grandparent, had your time to raise your children, choose their names and whatnot. It's not your decision. I mean, it's one thing to suggest and it's one thing to be hopeful, but at the end of the day, it's not your choice, and you should just be happy that you get another part of the family, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and why does it matter if it's a character named, like, from a video game? Like, she drove all the way out of her way, a half hour, to come bang on our door when she found out it was from a video game. She was semi-okay with it until she learned it was from a video game?
Potentially. I mean, I know some people are like that.
If you're like that, stop it. Stop. You're the problem. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about this one because... And the fact that if you name if you name your kid this, I want no part of their life.
Yeah, that's very messed. I mean, that kind of just shows where her loyalties kind of lie in the first place.
Yeah, it's that me first mentality. If you don't do what I want, then I'm going to take the ball home. You know, like,
I do wish I was a fly on the wall, though, because, I mean, he did say at the end he had an extremely great relationship with his mother.
It sounds like it.
That's the thing. It's like, I wonder how many other things he let her steamroll over just to keep that happiness.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but he's not the asshole. Or she.
No.
Or whoever.
He wrote it.
Yeah. He's not the asshole.
No.
If you're a parent, you got to understand, like, when you have a kid, then when your kid becomes an adult, they get to make their own decisions. You can give your opinion and you can try to advise them, but ultimately they get to make the decision. Especially when it comes to big decisions like that. Like, that is a huge decision. They should have full control over that, and you should respect that, in my opinion, regardless of how you feel about it. It's not your decision.
I mean, it's definitely one thing, though, if they were naming it something that was, like, extremely obscure or, like, gross.
Yeah.
Like, if they were naming their child Dumpster, I can understand having a problem.
Dumpster, middle name Fire.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
All right.
Oh, there's my little dumpster fire.
How's my little dumpster fire doing today?
Oh, goodness gracious.
So is he the asshole?
No, absolutely not.
Nah, he ain't the asshole. Again, it's always the parents.
Grandma's getting greedy. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
I'm very curious on this one.
I'm trying not to read. I keep looking. I'm not reading. My eyeballs aren't good enough to read that tiny text from here, but I keep looking like I'm going to get something from it. All right, what's the title of this one?
Am I the asshole for shutting down future game nights with my boyfriend and his friends because they expected us to just sit around watching them play video games?
Continue.
My boyfriend and his friends like to play video games together. I have little to no interest in video games. The issue is that for some reason, he and his friends think that them playing video games is the most interesting thing in the world.
It is.
And you know how guys who are into sports will have their girlfriends come watch their games? He and his friends kind of expect us, the women, to do the same. I'll admit that we tried it once. It was boring and a huge waste of time. None of us had any interest in just sitting there and watching them play games. But for some reason, the guys expected that somehow this continued as a group hangout and thought that it was a great time. They started to make plans to do it again, and I stepped in and said, "Hey guys, you can play, but we aren't going to just sit around watching you play video games." They didn't get why we didn't like it because they like sitting around watching people play video games and are always watching streamers play. I said if we're going to hang out as a group, we need to be like doing stuff together, interacting. They argued back that we could always join them playing the games, and I said that I know that they know I have no interest in that, and a few of the other women chimed in to say so as well. Well, the guys are pissed at me now because to them, I ruined game night, which to them was something that everyone could enjoy. I don't get why they can't just play games together without dragging bored girlfriends along for the ride. My instinct is that some of them were using it as a way to pretend that they were spending time with their girlfriends so they don't get pegged as being shitty boyfriends. He plays with these friends multiple times a week already. It's not about wanting him to not game. His hobbies are his hobbies, and he's not some loser with an unwashed ass. Like, I have no issue with him playing. They're also not his only friends. Number 2, no, the women don't know each other outside of this. These are not friends in the making. This isn't some cutesy little sitcom. We're not trying to make a friend group out of this. 3, I don't like playing board games, and something like D&D is of no interest to me. This applied to most of the other women as well, so please stop with the recommendations. Also, what is everyone's obsession with wine? Like every other comment kept saying that we should get wine. Why? Stop.
Alcohol makes everything more fun, evidently. Okay, so this is board games, not video games.
No, it's video games.
Oh, okay.
Those were suggestions.
Oh, okay, to like play D&D instead or something like that.
Yeah, because it's more of a group.
So, at first, I was kind of leaning towards her being the asshole a little bit. But ultimately, I can also understand, like, some guys think that they are, like, esports, like, fucking awesome gamers, and they want to share that with the world. I'm not projecting, I swear. But if she, like, made it clear that she wasn't having a fun time, and she gave it an honest go, she gave it the good old college try, and just didn't like it, I don't know. I feel like then at that point, you know, you gotta find some middle ground. You know, maybe video games or board games isn't the solution. But it's really unfortunate because I think that to a certain degree is a fundamental issue in the relationship, because like people that do play video games, I kind of speak for myself here, you know, video games are a huge part of my life.
Absolutely.
I've played video games for literally as far back as I can remember. I remember going to preschool, and if I had a good day at preschool, my teacher would tell my mom, and my mom would let me go home and play Twisted Metal on the PlayStation 1 for a while because I had a good day at school. It was sort of like an incentive. I've always played video games. It's a very important part of my life. And I want to share that with my significant other. You and I, we play Fortnite together, and we play Halo together. We play a bunch of different games together. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been very fortunate that you've been accepting, even though you kind of started off not super duper into games, but over time you've definitely grown, and I think that, or at least I hope, that you have grown some actual appreciation. And I appreciate that you gave it an honest try, and you know, learned to like it, or, you know, maybe it was something that you didn't even have to learn to like. Maybe it was something that you just didn't realize that you did like. But ultimately what I'm trying to say is that is more than just like a hobby. That is like part of a lot of people's almost core identity. I know like video games are a part of who I am. And if I couldn't share that with my significant other, that's a problem. And maybe that relationship just isn't the right relationship, in my opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts, though. I'll stop hogging the mic.
You're good. Well, with what you said with me, it's like, I wouldn't say that I didn't like games. I mean, I grew up playing games. It's just my type of games were a little different from what yours were. I'm very much a party game kind of person. I like Mario Kart. And
I love me some party games too.
Oh, absolutely. But like, I wasn't into like shooters and stuff, you know. I never tried it out. It wasn't really my thing. I liked platformers, you know, Spyro and stuff like that. Like, I was very much that type of gamer. I still very much am. But you've definitely introduced me to quite a bit, and it has been fun. And there have been some times where I've butt heads with you and kind of been very obstinate about not wanting to do something because I didn't think that I would have any interest in it. But I ended up having fun in the end because it's spending time with you, and I care about that. So I can definitely see where you're coming from with saying that that might be a little bit of a relationship ruiner, especially for you. But like with what she said, if I remember right, she said that that's not his only hobby either. So
I thought she said that those weren't his only friends.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, look that up.
Yeah, I guess that they're not his only friends is the only thing. She said his hobbies are his hobbies, meaning she doesn't care what he does.
Right, she just doesn't want to partake in his hobbies.
Yeah, and honestly, there's really nothing wrong with that. As long as they make time to spend together doing things that they can enjoy together, that's what's important.
Right. But, like I said, coming from, like, I hate using this term, but coming from, like, a hardcore gamer, like, it's more than just a hobby. It's almost like a lifestyle, you know what I mean? Like, it really is, as lame and as terrible as that sounds. I couldn't imagine a relationship that I couldn't share my love of video games with the love of my life.
Yeah.
That's a deal breaker to me. So I don't think either of them, unfortunately, or fortunately.
I was going to say, unfortunately.
I don't think either of them are the asshole. I just think maybe they just aren't right for each other. Because unless he's just one of those casual gamers that, like, you know, plays like not D&D, like plays like FIFA or something. But if he is playing like D&D or something like that, or if he is playing like more hardcore games and that's kind of like his just lifestyle, then I just think maybe they aren't a good match for each other, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would also say not the asshole, because like she said, his hobbies are his, and she can have hers outside. And if she's she said that she's fine with him playing. She doesn't care that he plays. It's also that whole part of, like, all of them bringing their girlfriends together and, like, trying to make them friends. I can understand.
That is a little weird. I guess that could be a little bit more awkward. As we were like, it's you and me. When we play, I'm introducing you to a game. It's one-on-one time. It's sort of relationship building. I'm teaching you something. You're learning something. We're working on something together, you know, and it's sort of like almost an intimate experience, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As where, like, if, you know, I brought over a bunch of friends and, like, hey, we're going to play some Street Fighter. Do you want to just watch? You know what I mean? Like, I could see how that could be boring.
I could also see how when she said, you know, it almost feels like they're trying to just bring their girlfriends along to not be the shitty boyfriends that ignore them. I could also maybe see that.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I think this goes deeper than just video games. I think they just need to reevaluate their relationships with their significant others and see if there is something worth continuing there.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
But I don't think either of them.
Check your priorities.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think either of them are the asshole here. I just think that it's
I will say he's a little bit of an asshole for getting annoyed that she's not enjoying it. Or, I don't know, maybe not him, but his friends for being pissed off at her that she was the only vocal one, apparently, to say, hey, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, but the chances are the other ones were probably feeling similar.
But she just happened to be the scapegoat that talked loud.
Yeah, the squeaky wheel gets replaced.
Hate that saying.
But, yeah. There's no asshole in this situation entirely, besides maybe the friends. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a shitty situation, not a shitty person.
Yep. No. Make sure when you're looking to start a relationship with someone that you have some, you know, foundational building blocks to build upon. If your interests lie in completely separate, extremely far away categories, you know, I'm not saying it can't work, but it
I was gonna say we do.
Yeah. we have a lot of common ground, but you know, you gotta have somewhere to start, and you know, make sure that it's worth pursuing. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here. That's why we're here, to give our opinions on things that no one asked for.
Am I the asshole for taking away my son's access to games, for deleting all of my progress from all of my games?
Hold on. Repeat that one more time for me so I can make sure I understood what it said.
Oh, I think you did. Am I the asshole for taking away my son's access to games, for deleting all my progress from all of my games?
Nope. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Go ahead. Continue more.
Okay. I, 34 female, have a very spoiled 13-year-old son. Note, he is 13 years old. We will just call him Junior. In our home, we absolutely love gaming when we have the chance. So, Junior has access to all of our game systems. He mostly plays the PS5, but occasionally will play the Switch. So a big rule I have for my Switch, he broke his on accident, is absolutely no Fortnite. He has it on every system he can get it on, but I don't want it on mine, nor do I have the space. I'm currently at home with a very needy newborn who won't nap unless I'm holding him. This is after 5 months of strict bed rest while pregnant. As you can imagine, I've been getting a lot of time to play on the Switch. But when Junior asked to use it to play games, I gave it up. Upon getting it back this morning, I went to play one of my games, Stardew Valley, to find half of my games uninstalled and Fortnite on it. I was aggravated, but whatever. I was stressed and just wanted to relax, so I deleted it and its data. When I launched my game, all of my progress was gone. I checked my other games to find the same. Long story short, I had a stern talk with Junior and grounded him from all of the systems. As you can imagine, he was furious. He yelled, went to his room, and slammed the door, all of which woke the baby. Next thing I knew, I got a call from my mom saying games are meant for kids and I needed to get over it and give her grandbaby back his games. I told her absolutely not and went and grounded Junior from his phone as well. My mom is still blowing up my phone and threatening to come save her grandbaby since I can't grow up and parent properly. Am I the asshole?
No. No.
One parent is right and one parent is wrong.
That kid is plenty fucking old to know not to fucking...
Oh, he knows what he did.
Yeah.
He knows what he did.
Even if it was an accident, he needs to own up to it. But it more than likely wasn't an accident.
These damn Fortnite kids.
Can I tell you how unbelievably rage-induced I would be if someone deleted the progress in my games?
Same.
I think they would be lucky to just be grounded. I'd be tempted to send them off to military school. Yeah. That's a joke, people. Don't get your panties in a wad.
But it's also realistic, so don't forget about it.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about that one. I mean, that's just fucked. I mean...
It's pretty straightforward.
He broke his Switch, so she was being nice, like, yeah, you can, use mine. Just don't install Fortnite, please. Does the one thing she doesn't ask. Or the one thing she asks.
That's what I'm confused on, is why did he need to install it on there when he had the PS5 and they more than likely have a home computer?
He probably wanted to just be able to play it on the go or something, or like so he could ignore them when they went to the restaurant together or whatever. Whatever these kids do.
Oh gosh, I feel old.
This video is going to get me in trouble. No, she's not the asshole.
No, I don't think so either. And Grandma needs to stay in her lane. Again, these...
Good on the mother for, like, taking the phone away, too. Like,
I know! That was so petty, but so cherry on top of the freaking icing, man.
Yeah. That was great. It sucks for her save files, though. I feel for her.
I know. Like, with Stardew, I'm assuming it's very much like Dinkum, right? And
it's like Dinkum or Animal Crossing, where, like, your progress is, like, hundreds of hours of work.
So imagine somebody getting on my Sims and deleting all my Sims, the thousands of hours that I have on that.
Yep.
I would freaking rage, just like you said.
Just to, I needed room to install Fortnite, sorry.
No. I'm like clenching my fists over here, white knuckling that shit. I can't imagine. Yeah. No. And games are not just for kids. I hate that.
Yeah, that made me fucking want to go, like, ram my head through a wall when I heard that. I am so tired of hearing that. Like, guess what? Kids grow up. They become adults. At what point are you not supposed to play video games anymore? This is a whole topic for a whole nother video that I would love to go down, but yeah, it's a very deep rabbit hole. Video games are for all people. If they weren't, they wouldn't be rated mature.
Ding 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 ding.
Anyways.
Yeah, no. Not the asshole. Son's the asshole. Grandma's the asshole. Everybody but her is the asshole, honestly.
Yep, I agree.
Even the baby. Fuck the baby. Fuck them kids.
Waking up.
Oh.
Anyways, I think that's gonna do it, though. Did you have fun?
Lots of fun.
I had fun. And if you guys had fun, let us know down in the comments below. This is definitely a different style. So if you like how this was versus the first episode, let us know, and we may continue doing it this way. Otherwise,
if you like how it was, subscribe, click the like button, and let us know that you want more. Or is it the force?
It's just like a subtle. It's one wave. You way overdid it. In fact, it's such a subtle way that you're not even supposed to notice it.
Well,
it's literally just a.
I feel like mine gives more. It gives more, right?
You look almost like you're in the Third Reich. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to let us know down in the comments. Click that thumbs up button and subscribe to stay up to date with all of our videos and shenanigans and whatnot. We got a lot of stuff, or in particular, I've got a lot of stuff in the oven for this channel, stuff that I've been working on for literally months at this point. They're just taking a little bit longer than I expected to get out, but just know behind the scenes, I am still working away at them, and I cannot wait to share them with you.
It's a good thing you're not a sim, because the house might already be on fire if that were the case.
Probably. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'm gonna put that right at the end. That's how the video's going.